right as I'm talking about that, we'll talk about taking every opponent seriously, which sounds like such a simple concept, right? And it is a simple concept of taking every opponent seriously, and that's that. But how do you take someone seriously if you don't respect what they can do? And there's one easy way to answer that, and that's this game is not hard on its lowest level to perform very damaging combos. So if you're screwing around with someone that you feel like you don't need to try hard against or take seriously, it's mistakes. Capitalizing on mistakes is very easy in this game. So like making a mistake on a diamond player could just be just as punishing as doing a mistake against a warlord. You know, the diamond player, if you do a DP on a diamond player, they'll still punish it very hard, and half your health is still gone no matter who you play, unless you're playing someone 80 leagues below you, which I don't know why you're doing that. But anyone I run into in ranked as a grandmaster player, so that means I run into diamond plus, all those people I should take into account have the same potential to destroy me in 2 wrong moves. That's what Akuma really teaches you, is that you have all the tools, you have all the power, you have everything you need to win this match, but you better not fuck up, because against any player, I could play I'm not going to name any names, but you know, almost any character as well. You gotta play as if you can lose easily if you screw around. And that's one of the hardest things for me to do, because you kind of see someone, you kind of make a judgment like, okay, I typically beat this guy, so if I just play my game, I win. You gotta be careful, because like anything can happen, especially if you go on autopilot and just like I said, making one mistake leads to one bad situation. That bad situation puts you in the corner. Next thing you know, you're fucking throw teching for no reason. And they shimmy, and because even diamond players or people who you might deem like not very good, they still have their shining moments of good play. Like everyone can do something cool at some point, right? Even when I was even when I first started playing this game, or I should say when I first started playing Street Fighter 4, as I mentioned before, the first time I ever strategized is when the first time I ever thought of like a counter. Okay, I don't even know combos yet. I was using Ryu, and the T-Hawk jumped up in the air and did his little condor dive or whatever. And I thought, next time he does that, I'm going to use my Ultra 2 and punish him. And how fast I reacted was actually kind of sick, but that's all I had. So even though I had just started playing the game, you still can't just do a condor dive from a full screen away without maybe thinking maybe this complete scrub is thinking about this one thing. And that's the Ultra 2, the Condor dive. That's all I was thinking. Like, okay, if he ever does that one more time, I'm gonna Ultra 2. That looks cool to me. So I still had my shining moment of like a strat. So anyone you play who you deem unworthy, or who you deem not even unworthy, but like, you know, you just feel like you're better than overall, if you run into those shining moments on their end, you can still lose, you know, if you're playing their game. Because all of that T-Hawk had to do was not do that move, and there's nothing I didn't know anything else about the game, but instead he was giving me credit as if I have neutral, or I even know how to play the game, so he goes full screen and then jump does this. Completely unnecessary. Maybe he was also a noob, but all he had to do was not that, you know. So that's what I mean by always taking your opponent seriously. Demon flips can still get you in trouble no matter who you play. Like, let's say, for example, they're always crouching when you demon flip. So I try to do a demon flip throw to kind of just do whatever I want because I don't respect them that much or whatever it might be. And then they get a punish on me and I'm like, fuck, I'm in the corner. And then, you know, they throw me 2 times and then I accidentally do whatever. Everything can go downhill so fast. You should always play this game. That's what I should say. That's a good way to phrase it. Is you should always play this game as if it can all go downhill really fast. And that's a perfect, especially when you have a huge life lead, and you kind of play like, haha, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, ha 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 ha, like you're shadow boxing, ha 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 ha, yeah, Roy Jones over here. If you always take into account that in any moment this can just get flipped around and I'm dead. That's how you should always play. I think that's how the smartest players play, is like they always assume that if they make one mistake, you know, it could all go downhill no matter who they play. You ever see Tokido play random, regular, low-level people? He plays them as if a mistake could kill him. Even a bronze player, he'll still play very, you know, like try hard. Even against people, I see he allows people into his lobby sometimes that are like gold, and the way he plays them is so funny. He just plays them as if like this gold can take me out, and I don't want him to take me out. Which, Rich, if you think about it, Street Fighter is so close to MMA, people don't realize it. Like, imagine if you're playing like Crazy Horse Bennett versus KJ Noons, right? I want to be able to clip this, so let me summarize, and then I'm going to show the little clip, and then that way I can post it up on YouTube and it doesn't seem like a big old block. Anyway, KJ Noons is a way more skilled fighter than Crazy Horse Bennett, but see, KJ Noons fucking, I don't know what happened, but they both punched each other at the same time. They both went like this at the same time, boom, and they both knocked each other down. But Crazy Horse has a bigger right, so who stayed down and who won? Even though KJ Noons was by far more trained, more skilled, more everything, but he got a trade combo, and that trade combo happened to be with G into V trigger and into game over. And if you ever watch Crazy Horse fight, this guy is the LTG of UFC. You know, he's not a bad fighter. Well, he is in UFC standards. He is a bad fighter. He's like 8-47 or something like that. You know, he's not good. But he had these shining moments from people who didn't take him seriously. Just as I mentioned against, he played this hot shot Brazilian up and coming prodigy little hot shot kid, and he dropped him in 2 seconds. Because he put his guard down, thinking like, I don't have to take this guy seriously. As long as I just play my game, I'm good, because I'm better than he is. And then he slipped up, and Crazy Horse, boom! And you can't just take shots from someone, even if they're not a good fighter, they're not a good UFC fighter. You still can't play with fire like that, you know? You still can't just assume that. You have to know that if I get cracked by this person, I'm still out, even if I'm way better than him. So I think Butterbean was like that too, right? Butterbean was like this big fat white boxer who wasn't like particularly strategic, but he had such a crazy hands that he won anyway. Bob Sapp, big beast, wasn't very technically sound, but make a mistake and you're dead, bruh. Another interesting one was Kevin Randleman versus Crow Cop. I don't know if you guys know who that is or what that is, but Kevin Randleman is like a monster, and Crow Cop was in his own right just like a fucking veteran beast. One wrong move, baby, you're done. You can't screw around. Treat it like a real fight, in that if you make one fucking fuck up, you're done. That's how you should play this game. Understand that every action has a harsh consequence. So that's how I summarize that. When to take damage over Oki. Do you guys know what Oki is? Just to make sure. It's like, try to think of it as when to take damage over positioning after the knockdown. How about that? Okay. When should you take damage priority over having a good follow-up positioning? Does that go hand in hand with one player gameplay? Well, I don't know if that has any, you know, if you're playing a one-player game and just pretending like your opponent is a CPU, I suppose if you're still trying to mitigate the damage as much as possible, you're trying to reduce the risk as much as possible. I think as long as if that's your strategy, I don't know if it matters if you're actually considering the other person is actually playing. I'm not sure. That's a good question. But basically, the short answer to when to take damage over Oki is pretty much all the time, depending on the character. But I would say a lot of times you're going to want to take the Oki over a little bit of reduced damage, you know? For example, Akuma's heavy DP in the middle of the screen is going to do more damage, but it's going to leave you further away from the opponent and therefore not have such a strong follow-up. So it's almost always better to do like a V-skill kick and a demon flip palm because you're right next to the opponent. So this is kind of setting yourself up for a better position in at the expense of reducing the damage a little bit. The only times you might consider otherwise is maybe when it's going to kill. Like, for example, if I'm in the middle of the screen and they're about to die, maybe that's when I'll do EX Red Fireball into EXDP, because it doesn't matter how far they are when they're dead. And then also when they're in the corner, you can kind of opt for higher damage combos because you're in their face no matter what. So that's why, as a Kuma player, you can do V-Scale Kick into DP in the corner, and it doesn't really matter that much because you're still right next to them. So those are a couple examples. Another couple things I have written down is if you want to do a super early on, like if I were to get a crouch medium kick fireball right in the beginning of the round, I might do super on that, and that's going to cost me, I get no Oki after that, but so much damage. And then the last one's going to be when the reliable option is damage. The more reliable option is damage. So that, as I mentioned before, MK Tatsu doesn't always land after crouch medium kick, but EX Tatsu always does. If I do EX Tatsu, I lose the Oki. However, it doesn't ever whiff. So if I do a max range crouch medium kick, the MK Tatsu could drop. I lose the Oki if I do EX Tatsu, but it guaranteed hits. So that's a situation of maybe if I felt like it was a max range crouch medium kick, I might do that. Who do we got here? Dr. Monix? Just in time. If you're a try-hard sweat lord nerd like me. Okay? So, every time I do these topics, you guys, I'm kind of just projecting what I'm currently thinking about the most. And I wanted to do a self-assessment topic hour where I really break down what I think my actual strengths and my actual weaknesses are, and whoever wanted to join me on that, I might do that tomorrow. If you guys want to, for a little homework, like really assess yourself, you know, like what do you think your actual strengths are and what do you find your weaknesses to be? And one of my glaring weaknesses is I have a tendency of not taking my opponent seriously, and that really affects my win rate. And then when I do take people seriously, I perform much better. And you wonder to yourself, you know, why might that be? Because if you're paying attention to the situation, you understand that, for example, when Bison has 2 bars, you gotta be careful because that could lead into a big boy damage. And V-Trigger, he gets to do is like EX Scissors and the Devil's Reverse, and you instantly half health. So just when you're paying attention and focus, you can see the situations a little better. That's why you do better. You know? And yeah, I mean, when to take damage over Oki, I almost always take the Oki, especially as an Akuma player. Maybe there are some characters that I'm just gonna take the straight up damage, but for me, I'm taking that Oki though. So yeah. Are you watching my matches? I just got done losing to a Bison. I could do a quick couple of assessments. Guitar Junkie, you don't have enough in your arsenal to consistently make me worried about what your next option is going to be. You only have a couple, you know? Like you have the stand heavy kick and dash command grab situation, but in my opinion, you don't use enough of your normals, your light normals, and you do make huge gut calls when maybe you don't need to. I understand Alex is a little bit more of a character where he might need to take that big risk more than other characters would, but you also don't have to do it as much as you are, because there are players out there who do better, which means they're more actively implementing a reliable game plan instead of like, let's just do this full screen stomp and hope that he doesn't know how to punish it. Like, that's not a good strat, is to hope that someone doesn't know how to punish something. It's safe to assume that it's a safe option to assume that your opponent knows how to punish everything that's coming for you. However, you could take information through your mistakes as well. Like, for example, if I do a demon flip throw on Rich, but he doesn't punish it properly, then I know to myself, I can get away with that. Maybe he doesn't know that, so maybe that leaves me a little bit more comfortable to do whatever I want. And that's what's hard about for lower level players to play high level players, because a high level player will instantly be able to recognize what they're not punishing. So if I drop a combo, they get up, I do DP, and they just don't punish it, or they give me like a jab combo, I'm like, okay, well I can take more risks because I'm not worried about the damage you could do, you know. Or if I'm doing red fireball in a Chun-Li's face and she's not EX legs, doing EX legs, I'm like, oh yeah, free. You gotta like analyze and interpret that. I also have to wait for my neighbors to come out so I can say, hey, can you guys pick up your fucking garbage? Should I bring my firearm outside? Hey guys, you gonna do something about this garbage? So anyone have any questions before we move on to this labbing sim? Yay. All right, no questions. Let's move on. The first thing to note about Sim is that he actually does require some accuracy. So being able to identify when they are plus and when they are minus in some of these situations is very important. I know this much. This doesn't actually help me too much with high level Dhalsims, but this is going to help you with a lot of Dhalsims that you're going to run into in rank, because that's what we're talking about. Most of the time, you're going to run into people who are not playing a character correctly or optimally. So you're going to run into, I don't even know how to do that. You're going to run into Dhalsims that are doing dive kicks and stuff, but they're not exactly accurate. And you have to understand that when you do these things, if they're not positioned right, you know, it's even when you get hit, you know, it's still your turn. You know, so you have to be able to really eagle eye. It's just like Cammy, except Cammy's a fucking cheap ass bitch. But if you can identify when they're plus and when they're minus, like, see if I, let's see if I can position it right. You know, like that. Yeah, sometimes on hit, it's still your turn. Like that is a bad one. You know? Like that one might not have been, but that's when you have to kind of like practice it out. Like, don't always respect what they're doing. Don't always respect their follow-up, because sometimes it's not for them. Okay? Really good Dhalsims are going to be really careful with their dive kicks, but some of these guys are getting away with doing that. Same with this slide. Same with this here. You know, I think even on hit, it's still your turn. If I'm not mistaken, let's look at the frame data. Yeah, see, that's still a... Not only is he not his turn, it's actually punishable. Look at that. It's +3 on hit in your favor. See that? So take that into account, that these guys actually have to place their stuff well, or it's either punishable or they give up their turn. Another thing about Dhalsim is this shit. I don't know how to do it. Like something like this, or I don't even know what they do. Do they do It's like this situation. What basically happens is you try to punish them for doing that, you miss, and then they get you caught up in that, or you do like something like this sort of thing happens. You're trying to punish and you get hit. Okay? The reason why that is because his lower hurt box makes it, or his lower model makes it look like he's close, and this is stupid, by the way. Well, for some reason now it's actually hitting, which this shit misses all the time. Trust me, guys. My knee has been straight up in Dhalsim's fucking beard. So a longer range button is always good if you can react to it. And see, even that happens. This gives people a lot of problems. If you ever watch someone who's saying they're having problems in the Dhalsim matchup, and you watch their replay, generally they're getting like caught up in this shit. They're like, oh shit, like that type of stuff. You can sniff it out and get in there. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if there are any sims in the chat, but there's some weird thing about that. If you V reversal, there something about V reversaling. Wait, how do you do? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. I got hit with the super once on this. I know I did. It was like this, and then he straight up did super on me for V reversling. What happened there? Mateo did that to me in tournament, where I V reversaled. Did they nerf that? That's what happened. You gotta V reversal early. Gotta V reversal early, I guess. Oh yeah, so if you try to V reversal, it's like the second hit. Yeah. Don't V reversal that late for sure. Other things, no one ever knows this, including myself, that this shit is punishable. It's -8. I don't know if I can always get a punish on it, like max range. I don't know if I can get a punish on that. Yeah, you can get a sweep. So I'll probably stand heavy punch. Yeah. Looking clean and healthy today too, by the way. Alright. Thanks. I didn't even shower yesterday. But I had a good weekend, so that's probably why. What else can we talk about, Sim? Yeah, of course. Another thing to consider, this is kind of Akuma specific, but you have to be careful about your air approach. He has so many different ways to navigate past your air game. You see that? So he's got so many options to beat you in the air, including this. So if you're an Akuma player, he get under you like this, or anyone who's got like jump trajectory change options. Things to consider: they can slide under you, they can move under like this. He can teleport away when you try to jump in on it. So he's got a ton of options to get away from your BS. So just remember that when you're trying to approach him in there. Like I always say, you guys always hear me saying after a tournament, like, oh, I hate it when I do a jump air fireball against Dawson, and that's why, because I'll jump air fireball, he'll go under it and throw me or whatever. So you just gotta be careful. And then sometimes you can sniff out that he's gonna do a slide, and you do something like this, and he gets right into it. So that's very effective. For example, I'll just show you what that looks like. He goes like this, and he tries to slide under what you're doing, and he gets hit right on the top of the head like that. See, it's something to consider. And you know, dive kick beats a couple other options anyway. Also, some of this is Akuma specific, some of it's not. And this happens more often than you think, so keep an eye out for it. This is totally not that hard to whiff punish. Getting that knockdown's pretty sick. Okay. Other than that, there are some other buttons that Akuma can handle, but requires a bit of a read. I got one on our last time we played, so it's not impossible, but your character might have something, you just need to figure out what it is. Like even, I was watching Prophet versus Dawson, like Art, and he was doing stand light kick into Lariat, and the fucking Lariat was connecting, like almost full screen. So you know, that's an opportunity right there. Did I show you this Zenith, by the way? Check this out. That's kind of funny. Not a real reason to do that, I would say, but still pretty funny. You have to delay this red fireball to get that. Yeah. Or when I'm on stream or something. I can't delay that long enough. Well, you can really hold that for a while, it looks like. So there's some options there. Although it's also good to remember that he doesn't have a reversal. So he's way more vulnerable in the corner than other characters. The only thing to remember is that you know, he can teleport, and he can jump teleport to avoid your throw. And another thing I just remembered is this situation. You guys all know the situation. You have a little bit of health left. But what is it? What is the button anyway? Jab. Oh yeah, this. So, actually, I blocked that, and I don't know if I punished it properly. But if you expect that he's gonna do it, I don't think he can do anything after that. Once he does the jump jab instant like that, I think he's vulnerable all the way until he hits the bottom. So if some Dawson tries to hit you with that, or you get hit with it and you don't die, for example, make sure that you're getting like a full thing off of it. Yeah, usually they're not this far away. But it's also safer in case you fuck up, too. I wonder if you'd be able to... Because they do this in the corner a lot, too. If you get them in the corner, you should be able to do some big boy damage, for sure. Oh, double EXDP fireball. Nice. What else we got, guys? Oh, here's an interesting thing. V-Trigger 2. Oh, shit. Some of you guys might know this already. This is pretty handy knowledge. His V-Trigger 2 is sometimes, if you can find the opportunity and you have the health to afford it, look at this. That's it. Look at the health. When the fireball is still small, it doesn't do any fucking damage at all, and it totally takes away the V-Trigger. So if you guys didn't know this already, this is huge. If you can find a way to purposely run into it, that's it. It only does big damage once he, what are you gonna do? Yeah, like that. Then it takes some damage. See? Yeah. Even that's not that bad, but you just don't want to, like, you can combo in it and stuff. You know, I guess it's actually pretty good because if you wanted to erase the ball anyway, right? So you might as well get hit by it because you're looking to erase it anyway. Because he can still like somehow come back, maybe and blow it off the screen or whatever. So yeah, that's handy. Ooh, or do something like that. The problem is he recovers fast enough sometimes, unless you do it right away, where he'll actually still be able to block it, and you get full punish into the... Nah. Although, I do, actually, in my first Strat Jackers video, I actually have footage of Naoon doing that, but what I noticed is, it says counter hit, so he didn't actually, it wasn't actually real. I didn't notice that when I was recording the video. So there's that. Does anyone want a sneak peek on what my new video is going to look like for this next compilation? This next like blocking compilation? I can show you guys a quick little sneak peek. You guys can also see what it kind of looks like when I'm editing. There's gonna be some edits, of course, but I just want you guys to get an idea of what I'm doing here. If you guys have seen my first punish guide, or if you have not, rather, it's on my YouTube, youtube.com/StackBradford. I'm making a whole punish guide for the entire roster, starring Akuma, but it gives you an idea of what, I mean, you should be able to get ideas from other, you know. You should get ideas for other characters just based on the knowledge itself. It's gonna lag a little bit. When you watch things in Movie Editor, it's actually a little laggy for some reason. I don't know why. But I'll show you guys what I really like about this one. Look, the timing and the music always seems to be really good. That's all I got so far. This stuff takes forever, guys, so be patient. I do everything myself, so everything takes a while, you know, in between streaming and just regular life in general and all that. I learned last night from Professor Daigo, I'm sure I'm late to the party, Hadouken moves your torso back, thus allowing you to avoid high attack. Actually, I can't really say I have thought about that. High attacks, like Kage stand heavy kick. Or like jump attacks like this. Alright, Junkie. Oh yeah, this is what they use. What am I talking about? They don't use slide, they use this. That. That's what happens. That's what it is. That's exactly what happens right there. Yeah, Nakata, I remember when I was thinking about my fireball, I never really noticed how fast they do it, you know? Like, I never thought about doing my fireball faster. You can hide it behind buttons. Anything else about sim, you guys? And this is another situation, the crouch medium kick. Or the down forward medium kick, I mean, I'm sorry. You gotta be really, if they're not using this properly, it's not plus or anything. That was -1 on us. +2. +7, you see that? Look at that. It's hard to tell sometimes. Even on hit, that's +2. Even on hit, that's +2. No reason to not do crouch medium punch right there. Or medium DP, apparently. On hit, you can punish this with demon on hit, you guys. On hit, you can punish that with demon. He's not trash, he's just, you can't be stupid with him. Like, people just think, oh, Dhalsim so stupid. And he is stupid, but just like any other character in this game, well, most characters in this game, not all, some of them can do whatever they want in this game. Some characters do have 5 million health. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna use the restroom. I think that covers a lot about Dhalsim that can help you guys, so